Hey, good morning. I hope everybody's doing great. So, welcome to, I think it's day 11 of 100 Days of Favor. And today we're going to be discussing um, why we need to stop denying God's favor. I don't want you to take it for granted, but we do need to take it. What I mean by that is that we are innately blessed. We are inherently blessed. Inherent means something that is given to you. Let me find the definition. So when you talk about an inheritance, we already have an inheritance of blessing. And we need to speak on our inherent blessings versus a world created lack. Inherent, the definition is existing in something permanent, essential, or a characteristic attribute, right? Vested in as a right or privilege. So when you say we have inherent blessings, that means that those blessings are permanent. Those blessings are essential to our well-being that God has vested. When you get to your 401k at work, let me give y'all something y'all can explain. After you've been there working 5 years, you're vested. That means it's permanent. They can't take the money from you. So they may do some type of match. And once you become vested, that means that's your money. Everybody understand where I'm going this morning. So your inheritance, your blessings, your favor is inherent. And that means that the only way you cannot receive it is that you refuse it, is that you deny it, or is that you don't pick it up. Because see, even an inheritance has to be claimed. I don't think y'all with me this morning. G me. Oh yeah, we having church. We ain't going nowhere. Your inheritance is a gift from God. And he speaks all throughout the Bible, amen, about how you are blessed. Good morning, Pastor Kid. Good morning, Verlin. And that these are your blessings. Somebody say my blessings in the chat. Because too often we act like favor goes to some and not to others. And the truth of the matter is that we all have favor. We all have faith. These are your blessings. And the only way you don't receive these blessings is if you don't claim them. So how do you claim your blessings? Number one, you have to take action. No, well, let's start at the beginning. Number one, you have to ask. But more often than not, God has already given you all the tools you need to receive your blessings. So how do you turn your blessings down? When you don't take action on your gifts, when you don't take action on your talents, when you don't take action on your blessings, on your abundance, then what you're doing in essence is you're saying, I don't want my blessings. I don't want my inheritance. I'm going to let this sit there. There's nothing in this atmosphere that you can't have. There's absolutely nothing in this atmosphere. Money, cars, clothes, health, mental wellness, peace. There's nothing in this atmosphere that you can ask for and not receive. So the question then becomes, why don't you have it? So why you don't have it is because you haven't claimed it. It's almost like your bags at the airport. If you don't claim them, then what happens? You don't receive them. So how do you claim them? God gave everybody a gift. God gave everybody multiple gifts. God gave everybody something. He's giving you talents. He's giving you ideas. He's giving you greatness beyond imagination. Some of you, he's giving you a story. Some of you, he's giving you a voice. Some of you, giving you leadership skills. Some of you, he's giving creativity. You know, he was so deliberate. He didn't give everybody the same thing, but he gave everybody something. And so what that means is that you need to take your something and turn it into something. And when you don't take your something and turn it into something, then what happens is you end up not redeeming your favor. I want to know if everybody's caught up with me. I want you to think about how many times you've had an idea that you didn't execute on. And then you looked up and somebody else was using that idea to be profitable. You looked up and saw that idea at a store. You looked up and saw that idea on the home shopping network. You looked up and you saw that idea walking around in the world making money. If it's happened to you before, go ahead and say me. And so what has happened is, good morning, Gertrude, we didn't take action in order to redeem the blessings that God gave to us. And so because we didn't redeem our inheritance, because we didn't write that book, because we didn't start that business, because we didn't execute on that idea, our inheritance escaped us. Somebody else redeemed it. Now, does that mean your blessing was encroached upon? Absolutely not. But I always say you got to take the opportunity of a lifetime within the lifetime of that opportunity. Just because, and thank you guys for sharing, Berlin, Vicky, thank you guys for sharing. If you haven't shared the broadcast, make sure you share. Just because somebody else got rich from it doesn't mean you couldn't have. But what did you do with it? My new thing I've been telling my mentees, you can't make money off of what you don't put out there. And if you want to sit on it and hold it, that's on you. If you want to try to make it perfect before you put it out there, that's on you. But God has put that mandate on your blessings. He didn't say it has to be perfect for you to make money. He didn't say it's got to be color coded for you to make money. He didn't say it has to be in a funnel. It has to be on a landing page, or it has to be on a website. Those are things you do to block your own blessings. Those are things you do to stop your own favor. So busy worried about who's saying what. God didn't say that people could speak on your favor. As a matter of fact, what God has touched, no man can undo. So that's denying God's favors. When you don't use your connections, when you don't use your energy, when you don't believe, when you don't have faith, what you're doing in essence is you're saying that my inheritance does not exist. We have an inheritance from the Most High that has been positioned for us, but we must claim our inheritance through our gifts and talents. If the Lord gave you a voice to speak, why are you not speaking? If he gave you a pen to write, why are you not writing? But you're so busy comparing yourself to somebody else. This week, I'm going to be celebrating my 10th year in business. Ain't God good? And all I can remember is all the times that things weren't perfect, but I still made money. It doesn't mean I didn't work to correct them. It doesn't mean I didn't work to make them better. But what I did not do, I did not sit around and wait on it was on to that magic day. Because see, that magic day, good morning, Alicia, when it's perfect, that day is not coming. My product is never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. There are going to be things people like. There are going to be things people don't like. There's going to be people that love me. It's going to be people that hate my guts. But I'll be doggone if I refuse to redeem my favor. I'll be doggone if I refuse to cash in on my inheritance because of what some human has to say or a human emotion. My, I don't think y'all listening to me this morning. We give the human element too much power over our life. No human or what any human thinks should be enough to your blessings. People are crazy. Can we folk are crazy. And unfortunately, will try to ruin you any chance they get. A lot of people spend more time trying to ruin other people's favor than they do trying to create their own. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. It's sad. But when you really understand the word and how he said, he will make your enemies your footstools. When you see enemies, stop getting upset. When you see enemies, start celebrating. When you see enemies, start letting people know that your blessings are on the way. So you got to realize the devil is busy and he's going to stay busy. And the only way for you to beat the devil is stay busy next to your Father's side. Because the further you get from the Lord, the more action the enemy has at you. I don't know if anybody's listening today. You've got the power to defeat the enemy, but you can't hand him the keys to the car. When you don't execute on your ideas and your gifts and talents, you're handing him the keys. When you don't do what God has called you to do, you're handing him the keys. When you let ideas sit and rot and fester, you're giving him the keys. You should be doing everything within your power every day to redeem your favor. And if you're not, that's where your lack is coming from. Lack doesn't come from the world. Lack comes from you. Wow. Somebody not listening. Lack doesn't come from the world. Lack comes from you. Lack comes from your mouth when you say things like, I can't afford. Lack comes from your spirit when you think things like, I'm not good enough. As entrepreneurs, lack comes from your actions when you refuse to put the right price on your items. Lack is internal. Lack comes from you when you watch the news and you think that because the economy is bad, ain't nobody gonna buy your stuff. Lack comes from lack of your belief and lack of your faith. The only lack that exists, my. I'm teaching somebody today if they listening. I'm teaching a lesson today. The only lack that exists comes from you. When you have a lack of action, you have a lack of money. When you have a lack of sowing seed, you have a lack of harvest. When you have a lack of asking, you have a lack of receiving. All lack is predetermined by the operator. And you are the operator, my friend. So when you don't operate in abundance, then lack is created. Lack is created from a lack of movement. Lack is created from a lack of belief. You are 100% in charge of both your lack and your abundance. So there are things you can do when you see that it seems like you're moving in a land of lack. You got to ask yourself, what am I doing that's causing this lack? A lack of creativity. A lack of execution. All those things contribute. And I know people don't want to hear this. Good morning, LaDavia. And I know people don't want to act on this. If I could have anything in the world for my 10th year anniversary, it would be to create as many millionaires as possible during my time on this earth. I can't even get y'all to believe in your own millions. And that's the first step. I can't get you to believe that you're good ground. I can't get you to believe that God would deposit millions of dollars in your bank account. Has already. Somebody type in has already. Your millions are already in existence. Are you willing to do what it takes to get them to flow to you? Your millions are already, somebody say already. Your millions are already in existence. They have already been provided for. Will you redeem them? Will you get the knowledge it takes? Will you do the work that it takes? Will you have the belief that it takes to redeem what God has already put? And see, that's the piece you're missing. And it's that one simple piece. If I can get you to believe that the millions exist, what would you be willing to do to redeem them? Think about it. If you really believed that God could bless you with millions, you would work day and night. Am I telling the truth? Somebody say truth, coach. If you really believed that you had millions of dollars in your midst waiting to be delivered to you, girl, it wouldn't be nothing you wouldn't do. You'd hire a coach because you knew the money was coming right back. You would put money into your technology because you know the money is coming right back. You will work 1,000 jobs to get the money that you need, to get the knowledge that you need, to redeem that money. You would do whatever if you really believe. And that's the number one thing when it comes to teaching people how to make a lot of money. You would think that the number one thing is technology or even knowledge. But the thing I work on the most is belief. And if I can get them to believe in $50, they'll make it. And if I can get them to believe in $500, they'll make it. And if I can get them to believe in $5,000, the minute they believe, come on, One of my clients will tell you, the minute they believe, it's there. See, your belief is the key. If I can believe in $50,000, you do it. If I can get you to believe in $100,000, I had a client that did $142,000 in 35 days. And do you want to know what the key was? I'd already given her the strategy. God had already given her the talents. She had everything she needed. But every few days we would get on the phone. Good morning, Maria. And we would work on her belief. And every time we got off the phone, because she believed that she could make more, she made more. And because when you believe, you're going to take unlimited action, whatever it takes for it to come into fruition. So I'm back to, if you don't have it, it's because of you. Lack does not exist in my Father's land. Lack exists in your mind and in your heart and in your lack of action. My. So telling you my goal. Who's ready to make millions? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to? Here's the thing. Once you claim your inheritance, the next generation has to work less harder. You are the champion in your family for belief. You're the matriarch for your family's belief. And when your family starts to see how your belief and action has brought millions to you, then they will start to employ belief and actions to bring millions to them. And I know y'all want to make it harder than this. And yes, there are some things like funnels and social media that will help you along the way. But the solid truth of the matter is, those are just tools. You've already got the seed and you've already got the soil. How many seeds you plant is up to you. How you till your soil, that's up to you. Whether you want to sit here and watch me or get on this side of the camera, it's up to you. And finally, all of your abundance, all of your inheritance, everything God has for you is 100% up to you. It's 100% up to you. That's all I have today. I just need some women who believe in their millions so I can show you how. Because I can show you how, but if you don't believe, you can't redeem. And that's the first step. Well, just say me in the chat if you're ready. I can show you how, but I can show you how all day. It is belief that is the key to you unlocking what God has stored up for you. That's the final key. You got to believe in God no matter who says what. You got to believe in God no matter what is going on. You got to believe in God sometimes, even despite what you see and what you hear. I think there's this saying that says, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. And that, my friends, is faith. Believe half of what you see. Because you're going to see people in this world that look like they blessed, may not be blessed. Believe half of that. And believe none of what you hear. Because the world is going to tell you that you're not capable. The world is going to tell you that it's not for you. You're not tall enough, smart enough. All those things are ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Make a decision on how you're going to move you to the next level with your belief. And don't let nobody stand in the way. And don't let anybody stand in the way. Don't listen to what other people say. If you struggling to listen to God, you really ought to struggle listening to man. If you struggle listening to God, then man ought to be a far cry. I hope that helps somebody today. So, guys, I'm looking forward to helping you redeem your millions. I'm looking forward to helping you uncover your favor. If you haven't already downloaded your journal so you can write the vision and make it plain, go to bit.ly/days of favor, bit.ly/days of favor, and get your download today. And I'll be back tomorrow with day 12. But I need you to take action because your inheritance is waiting.